Alright, so this is similar to section 5.6. If you are given explicitly that x and y have the same population standard deviation, notice it's population standard deviation, not sample standard deviation. So just because the sample standard deviations are the same, that's not enough. You have to be given that x and y have the same population standard deviation. In that case, you use the degree of freedom nu equals to nx plus ny minus 2. And the standard deviation is equal to sp times the square root of 1 over nx plus 1 over ny. What is sp? sp is the pooled standard deviation. This is equal to the square root of nx minus 1 times xx squared plus ny minus 1 times sy squared over nx plus ny minus 2. Alright, so let's do an example with this special case. So, same thing, assume x and y are normally distributed and independent, and they have the same population standard deviation. For x, the sample size is 5, and the sample mean is 3.16, and the sample standard deviation is 0.042. For y, sample size is 7, sample mean is 3.24, and the sample standard deviation is 0.048. Okay, so the null distribution, before that we need to write our tests. So we want to test if they have the same population mean. So the alternate hypothesis is mu x minus mu y equal to 0, not equal to 0, which means they have different population mean. And the null hypothesis is the opposite, which is mu x minus mu y equal to 0, which means mu x equal to mu y. Alright, so the null distribution has mean 0 from the null hypothesis. X bar minus y bar is about here, negative 0.08. So before we calculate the tail, we need to find out the degree of freedom and the standard deviation. So degree of freedom is nx plus ny minus 2, which is 10. And the pooled standard deviation is this thing. So square root of nx minus 1 times sx squared plus ny minus 1 times sy squared over nx plus ny minus 2. We have calculator. This is equal to 0.0457. Okay, so that should be enough to calculate the t-value. So the t-value is equal to negative 0.08 minus 0 over sp times the square root of 1 over nx plus 1 over ny. And all these numbers, we have the values somewhere. So if you press calculator, this is equal to negative 2.990. So degree of freedom is 10. So let's look at the degree of freedom being equal to 10. 2.990 is between these two numbers. But notice that this is a two-sided test. So the p-value is between 0.01 and 0.005, doubled because it's the two-sided test. So the p-value is between 0.02 and 0.001. In particular, p is still less than 0.05, so we can reject h naught at this level, so 5% level, and conclude that X and Y have different population mean. All right, so that's it for section 6.7.